Yate Bene. Good morning and welcome to Window Rock, the capital of the Navajo Nation. And we are gathered here to celebrate and recognize the indigenous LGBTQIA community, not only that live on our land, but all across the United States on Turtle Island. She'eya already Nelson yen she topahan shlonki ani e bush chindol tsenjikini e dasha che touchini e dasha nale and le bish betode e nasha kut all denen shle. My name is Alray Nelson. I'm one of the founders and the executive director for Dine Pride, which is the largest indigenous pride celebration in the whole country, and we're really proud of that. We were founded in 2017 and has since grown over the last 4 years to be the largest in the whole country. And on that note, the Navajo Nation continues to take lead in Indian country on several different issues. And I believe, and the community believes, that the Navajo Nation needs to lead again in regards to the ideas of the future for the LGBTQ community. When I'm speaking to you all now this morning, we're gathered here in front of the People's House with our Honorable Speaker of the Navajo Nation Council, Seth Damon, with Council Delegate Charlene So, Council Delegate Carl Slater, and so many others that cannot be right here right now because of the pandemic and the new times that our people are sharing with. And so all of you that are at home, that are watching all around the world, on behalf of the Navajo people, welcome to our nation. And when I think about those that are watching right now and that will see this video, I like to reach out to our young people that identify as LGBTQ, especially our trans young people. It's an imperative mission for us to stand up behind you and let you know that since time immemorial, to identify as indigenous, to identify as LGBTQ meant that you had sacred roles in our society. Since time immemorial, our people have seen and recognized our roles. We're caretakers, we're your relatives, we're your warriors, we're the ones in the household raising children. And so those are the roles that have always been with us for a long time for our people. And so that our young people know that you are sacred, continue to be proud who you are. And now I'm going to pass the microphone over now to our council delegates who will share more about the vision they see for our nation when we look at our relationship with our LGBTQIA relatives. So Council Delegate Slater.
Yat thank you, Alray. Yat shikedo shidne adone nishlinagi kiani na she sontene bashichin tsina jini dashiche sontene dashana tsenik anatent na sha she Carl Russell Slater dashijine. My name is Carl Russell Slater. I'm Kiani, born for the Jewish people, and I'm the council delegate who represents Round Rock, Rough Rock, Rock Point, Lukachukai, and Saley Wheatfields. And I'm here today to stand in step with Dine Pride, the speaker, council delegate Charlene So, Alray, in proclaiming this week as Dine Pride Week. It's critical that we support our citizens in this time of worry and uncertainty and rely on our traditional values to guide us through this pandemic. And to that end, I want to emphasize that your leadership, and I'm speaking directly to our young people right now, I'm thinking about our young LGBTQIA individuals, maybe those who are questioning, those who are at home in isolation. They're not near their friends. They're not near their support networks. Recognize that you have a place in Navajo society that has been there since our stories. Since way before anyone that you know who is alive, their tradition, our tradition, what has been passed down to you is encompassing of you, has a place for you, and also sets obligations for you. And you'll discover what those obligations are within your community, your context, your family. But us as Dine people, everyone has a clan. And if you have a clan, you are a part of the tribe. You are related. You are blessed by the holy people. And you should never forget that. Whether it's a pandemic or you're in a classroom and you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed and like there isn't hope and people don't understand you and they don't care about you. I have a Facebook page. I welcome you to reach out to me on there. You can always DM me in this time of isolation or uncertainty if you need someone to talk to. we are seeing so much upheaval and unrest across the United States. And what powers us and can power this movement to respect and clarify the rights of everyone in Navajo society is solidarity. And so you're not isolated from the world. There are people who are protesting in cities thousands or hundreds of miles away from you who care about you, care about your rights, and they care about the prosperity of your life. And we need to recognize that we have obligations to those folks as well. So just as Native lives matter, Black lives matter, trans lives matter, that only exists if we stand up for each other. So much of the work here by Alray and by Dine Pride is to build that solidarity, that consciousness raising, and to expand the reach and recognize that our presence has been here forever. The Navajo people in the Four Sacred Mountains, we have something to contribute to these movements, and they have something to contribute to us. So I give you my love, and I ask that you see hope through these turbulent times, through this proclamation, and hopefully through some positive legislative news that might occur later this week regarding clarifying those rights of our Navajo LGBTQIA individuals who work on the reservation either for the government or outside the government, and who want to express their love publicly either through marriage or some sort of union with those whom they love. So thank you, Alray. Thank you, Speaker Damon, for your really strong leadership. It means so much to me to see a young leader who represents the values that I was raised with, and I think many people here were raised with. And I don't want to speak on behalf of Delegate So, but I think that as a young person, we need to bring the conversations, the topics, the experiences that we're more intimately familiar with and raise them within the people's house, like Alray said. So thank you, Yahet, and I really look forward to this positive proclamation signing.
Oh, yeah, Alray, Adult Speaker Damon. Yeah, ben I hit the schnidolel. Shije Charlene so I don't late with the content nasha. Now, not that the nan slump, but I think Basha sheen, cut sheetney dash a check, the cheetney dash another. Good eye, son and slim. Okay. I want to say good morning to each and every one of you, the viewers out there. Thank you for being with us today via live stream. You know, as much as this is a joyous event, I really wish that we can go back to a year before this where we can celebrate and greet one another and be here and just the way that it was last year. So, but what I do want to start off with is, you know, this not only being a celebration, this is also a time of reflection of how far we've come, how far leadership has come, and also a reflection of those individuals that we have lost due to suicide because of unacceptance and to the bullying, to the criticism. And this is a time where we can come together as Dine and accept and love and respect one another again. So the Zambik eho I don't need quite no yaho aigi teachings. We can move forward as a nation. And I still have strong belief and faith that we will all come together as Dine people. The Neni Glenigi to fall back on our teachings and religion and our Zen, so that we can come together as a Navajo nation and prosper and move forward. Coming into this, being a delegate, I stood firm with what I believed. The LGBTQIA is something that I will continue to support, whether leadership extends for me in the political world or even in other respects of careers. So, but you know, this is the time where we can reach out and help one another and be there for one another. There is no reason for exclusion of love and respect. You know, going back, I've always been there for my young constituents who have already spoken to me and said, I'm scared to make this revelation to my family. And I told them, first and foremost, You are Navajo. You're human. And every one of us are holy beings. And that, based on the teachings of my grandmother, being a holy being and being created the way that we are, we were born to respect one another. And moving forward, I really like to thank Speaker Seth Damon as well, and Adot Honorable Carl Slater, as well as with Elray. You know, this has been a long time due coming, and we've been trying to work hard and teach our older individuals that this is a new era. This is an era of respect that we want to approach, that we want to succeed in. And moving forward, I really hope that our young individuals, LGBTQIA, know that there is a place here in Window Rock. You have people that will be your voice, that will be your protector as well, and that will always consider your rights and make sure that you get the love and respect that you deserve. And coming from a long lineage, I've been raised by my grandmother and my mother, and the teachings that come back to the beginning and the creation of time, that the individual was created to keep the balance in the world, to keep harmony. We will learn to respect one another and gain that respect for each other. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Charlene So, Honorable Carl Slater, Mr. Elray Nelson, and everyone who's here, not only present here today, but good morning, Yate Bene, to the entire Navajo Nation, to the entire United States, wherever you're logging in on, whether you're sitting down at home or if you're here in Window Rock in an office. I just want to first of all say thank you to everyone who has helped put today together and who's helped worked with Mr. Elray Nelson in putting this week together. As you know, through the expressions of what has been going on in the past couple of years and the past 30 years in order to fight for individuals' rights, to express the needs and the movements of what has been going on. I want to first of all thank everyone who has helped to make today become a reality. Most importantly, to everyone who has passed and incarnated in the past, has not been able to see this day become a reality. My name is Seth Damon. I'm the Speaker of the 24th Navajo Nation Council, and I just want to again thank everyone for logging in wherever you're from. Today is a day that brings light to hope in every portion of our four sacred mountains. Whether you're a student that's in Loop, Arizona, or an individual that's just graduated from Window Rock High School, whether you're an individual that's going through middle school right now in Page, Arizona, and you're having a hard time at Chief Manuelito and Gallup Middle School, trying to understand who you are in the service of this unpleasant world that we live in right now. These entities like today, these little bends and arcs in history that we come to portray has helped to move generations of hope. Our lives here and our time as leaders are very limited. And in doing these things, we bring leadership to the role to change policies and procedures, to change everybody's little bit of hope that they have a better tomorrow. And in this day, we're looking out for our people, our family, friends, our relatives, and everyone who supports the LGBTQ community. We started this journey down this path through the Speaker's office a year ago. And as Honorable Charlotte so indicated, that presence was an enormous celebration. That was the very first time you seen the flag of the LGBT community flying high in front of the Navajo Nation Council chambers. A year has come and gone. This is the second time this has happened in this history. We did this as a part and reason to make sure that we didn't forget anyone. And as already stated earlier, a year ago I spoke before this chamber and I indicated that this is not just the Navajo people's house. This isn't just our children's homes. This isn't just for individuals who are trying to fight for ourselves, for what we consider as an obligation, and more importantly, as an opportunity to segregate in people. As Honorable Slater stated today, as long as you're Navajo, you know who you are, you have a clan, even if you don't speak Navajo. Anyone Nika told Congress in the late 1960s that if you're a Navajo, you know who your clan is, and you always wear a little bit of turquoise. So I tell everyone out there, if you're struggling, please look out to somebody. If you're looking for a new light and you're garnering that entity, make sure to look out for others too as well. In 1996, then President Bill Clinton signed a legislation and it was passed by Congress. It was the Defense of Marriage Act. For 26 years, that legislation was held up to the highest regards until 2013 when it was struck down by the United States Supreme Court. During that time frame, in 2005, the Navajo Nation Council and then President Joe Shirley signed the Navajo Nation Defense of Marriage Act. In my leadership, in my time, I've honestly promised to come back and look at that legislation. It's time for us to open up an opportunity to have further discussions and making sure that every single person on the nation has an opportunity with their partner, with their significant other, to have a home site lease and due respect and have ceremonies blessed and welcome to them. Individuals might not like the constitutional and conformation of what I have just said, but it's time and changes that we look for, and it's our time and leadership and change that we look out for our next 7 generations. And in that continuity, today's a day that will start embarking that relationship and those discussions and that topic to moving forward down the path that we all need to know. That doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't no matter if you're a Navajo who comes from NAC Church or traditional or Christian. Just know the Navajo Nation Council, the 24th Navajo Nation Council, is here to help make progress change. And in that today, we are going to sign what is something that has never happened before. But more importantly, looking to change in values, change in industry, but making sure that we're changing the productive talks across this nation. This is a stepping stone, and all other tribes look up to the Navajo Nation. And this is something that we're going to lead the way again to as well. So again, I thank everyone for logging in today, listening in today. I thank my colleagues, the 24th Navajo Nation Council. I thank Honorable Charlene So, Honorable Slater. And I want to thank especially Mr. Elroy Nelson for your dedication and your leadership over the years to step up, to embark, and charge these issues and making sure that everyone is eligible and equal at the table. So again, thank you everyone for being a part of this discussion. Look forward to all the different events that I'll be having throughout the week, and make sure to log in and stay proud and stay believing in who you are. A cat.
So thank you for that, Honorable Speaker Seth Damon. and to our delegates here. So we're going to go ahead now and take part in having the speaker take a seat here, and he's going to officially sign this proclamation declaring this week as Dine Pride Week all across the Navajo Nation. And in that endeavor, we want to share to our young people and to those that have long lived as well that this is an historic moment for our people, and we're just so honored. So on behalf of the board of directors, many that are gathered here this morning, on behalf of our community, to say thank you to our Natanis, to our Honorable Speaker Seth Damon, and to the 24th Navajo Nation Council for their continued leadership to rebuild in a prosperous and stronger Navajo Nation. Speaker?
Let me go ahead and, again, good morning and thank you everybody for being out here. Let me go ahead and read this proclamation. This is the Navajo Nation proclamation of Dine Pride Week. Whereas the Navajo Nation recognizes the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and two-spirit LGBTQ plus are important to our livelihood and diversity since time immemorial. Whereas President William J. Clinton proclaimed June 2000 as Gay and Lesbian Pride Month, and President Barack Obama proclaimed June 2016 as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Pride Month to acknowledge the importance of respect and fair treatment for all people. Whereas the Navajo Nation will continue to protect its citizens from discrimination based on age, race, disability, ethnicity, family, or marital status, gender inequality or expression, language, national origin, physical and mental ability, religion, sexual orientation, veteran status, and other characteristics that will make citizens unique under the law. Whereas the Navajo Nation is committed to fostering, cultivating, and preserving a culture of inclusive fairness and equality. Whereas lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and two-spirit people are not called Dine, but who are the five-fingered, earth-surface, holy people that are sacred. Whereas the Navajo Nation stands behind the LGBTQ plus members and will continue to uplift all people, both young and loved, the fairness under the law, whether the community-driven, Dine Equality and Dine Pride organizations to continue to promote the interests of all indigenous LGBTQ plus peoples throughout the country. Now for I, Seth Damon, Speaker of the Great Navajo Nation and the 24th Navajo Nation Council, do hereby proclaim June 22nd to the 28th, 2020 as Dine Pride Week throughout the Navajo Nation upon approval of the Health, Education, Human Services, and the 24th Council. Dated today, 22nd of June 2020. Again, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Elroy, Honorable Slater, Madam Chair, Charlene So, for being a part of this today. Cat.
So to our viewers, as we head out now, I just want to share with you all that please join us on our virtual events on Dine Pride and Dine Equality's Facebook pages. Our events start this coming Wednesday, the 24th, with the first ever Indigenous LGBTQ youth panel. And alongside that, the following day, we're hosting a tribal leaders panel as well with several members of the Navajo Nation Council, and those are elected in statewide office. And then on Friday, we're hosting the first ever Indigenous Women's Trans panel, where we're going to learn a little more about the issues that are dealing with the transgender community. And then finally, join us for our closing ceremony this coming Saturday, where we're also going to hear from the Honorable Speaker and so many other elected officials all across the country, including Congresswoman Deb Haaland and Congresswoman Sharice Davids. And along those lines, thank you all for tuning in today for this historic moment. Understand, to be five-finger Navajo people, we are all sacred human beings. We're part of the holy people. So thank you all. Have a great morning.